Welcome back to the start of the second period. Hibbing controls the draw, shoots it down. Van Cleve has to make a save. Deflects it over in the corner. Pat Iozo picks it up. Oh! Moralt was knocked down in front. No penalty was called. The save there by Van Cleve. Anderkin picks it up. Shoots wide across the front of the net. Christoph knocks it back into the corner. Iozo picks it up. Knocks off his stick. Nimi picks it up. He breaks down into the Hibbing zone. Skates around the back of the net. Puts it out in front. Nobody's there. Iozo picks it up. Puck is knocked off his stick. He picks it back up. Shoots it into the Aurora zone. Picked up there by Koski. Koski shoots it in. Moralt and Zins go to the board. Picked up there by Tom Hansen. Out to the point. But not out. Pass out in front. Nobody's there. Nikolov passes up to Zessel. Zessel picks it up. Skates down into the Aurora zone. Passes too far and outside the blue line. Back into the center ice area. Bryant tries to make a pass. Pass is deflected over against the boards. Bryant picks it up. Skates behind his own net. Pass is intercepted. Shoots. Oh! Sandvik shoots it wide. Grillo picks it up. He's in his own corner. Fight for it along the boards. Grillo picks it up. Tried to get it over to Catani. Catani couldn't control it. Picked up. Catani breaking in along the left-hand side. Over to Bryant. Bryant shoots. Saved there by Van Cleve out in front. There's a scramble. Picked up by Sandvik. Sandvik over to Bovitz. Bovitz couldn't quite handle it. And Nikolov controls over to Grillo. Grillo tried to flip it up and didn't get control of the puck. We'll have an icing call on Hibbing. Well, quite a fast-moving start to the second period.
They're started, Aurora is really skating quite rapidly now to start this period. Hibbing is now trying to counter it with checking. But Aurora still is trying to get her going. We're staying in that Hibbing end.
Draws control by Aurora. Shot out in front, deflected. Hajduk makes a save, deflects it over into the corner. Vidmar pass out in front. Pass is intercepted again. Aurora holds it into the zone. Gozic puts it back in. Well, delayed offside call. It's called there.
Right now, I think Aurora is just all hustling or Hibbing.
Takes a face-off for Hibbing. Aurora decides to change up their lines.
We want to say again that this game is being brought to you by the Television Production 2 class and Mass Communication Department of the Hibbing Community College, Arrowhead region. The underwriter for this program in this game is the First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Hibbing.
Tom Hansen controls. In his own corner, he slips and falls. He's knocked off the puck. Pat Iozo around the boards to Christoph. Christoph tried to put it up. Oh. Can't control it. Out in front. Aurora stole the pass. Couldn't quite get their stick on it. It's held for a face-off in the corner.
Ryan Olsen had which could have been a surprising pass, a backhanded pass from the blue line in there that could have been dangerous if it would have been poke check out of there.
Face-off will come to the right of John Hajduk. These teams have really come in here and really kept Hibbing on their toes, giving them a tough game every night.
Yeah, the 3 games we've seen have all been good games.
Draw is controlled by Aurora. Out, back and forth between the defensemen. Shoot. It just deflected wide. Hibbing controls in the corner, back to Gozic. Gozic around to Hagen. Hagen back to Kasnar. Kasner back to Hagen. Hagen up the board. He's ridden off the puck. Controlled there by Akins. Akins shoots it down. In the corner, Gossage picks it up. Puts it behind the net to Vidmar. Vidmar back to Gossage. Pass for Kasner. Couldn't quite handle it. Shot there is wide. Oh, it's saved there by Van Cleve on Kasner. Point blank range.
That's surprising how Van Cleve, watching him in practice, he didn't look that sharp. But he's certainly putting the effort through now. First penalty of the game to Aurora.
Number 18, Dan Muggy. I'll have to see what Aurora can do when they're short-handed. He gets 2 minutes for tripping, Dan Mugg. Katani controls back to Tom Hansen. Tom Hansen skates out in front. Over to Katani. Katani's shot is wide. Up to the point. Aurora clears it out, hits the rip.
Hibbing so far
Anderson
this
picks it up. Over to Katani. Katani back to Iozo. Iozo picks it up. Gets into the corner. Back to Nikolov. Nikolov over to Katani. Katani out, tried to get out in front to Tom Hansen. It's knocked away from him. Aurora comes back. Surprising there was no penalty there. It looked like it pulled him down.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Katani picks it up, brings it in over the blue line. Gets around the net, up in front. Saved there by Van Cleve, and it's cleared out by Aurora.
On the power play this year, Hibbing is 30%. He played 17 of 55 power plays. So this is a 56.
Nikolov skates down into the corner behind the net. Back to Anderkin. Anderkin back to Nikolov. Nikolov out in front to Hansen. Hansen over to Katani. Katani back to Hansen. Back to Katani. Katani skates in. His pass is blocked. Gets it right back. Skates with it around the board. Back to Iozo. Iozo tried to get it out in front. Pass is blocked. Shot there by Nikolov.
Oh, that was
high and wide by Anderkin. And Aurora clears it down.
19 seconds left on the penalty.
Aurora's doing a good job killing this penalty.
They ain't giving.
They're not giving Hibbing any kind of shot. Iozo behind the net, gets it up front, trapped on the side of the net.
I think on this penalty, I think Hibbing is rushing it. They're not taking time to set up. They're using the long passes instead of setting up a play where they can get it wide open or a guy open on the side of the net there. I think they're rushing themselves. They had the time in which to set up, but they're not using it.
Now we have a face-off with 2 seconds left in the penalty to Muggy to the left of John Van Cleve, controlled by Aurora. Up front, stolen by Katani. Katani shot. Oh, he scored! That looked like a miscue to me.
Yeah, it was. He stopped it, it hit his stick and bounced in. Do set up, but they're not using it.
Now we have a face-off with 2 seconds left in the penalty to Muggy to the left of John Van Cleve, controlled by Aurora. Up front, stolen by Katani. Katani shot. Oh, he scored! That looked like a miscue to me.
Yeah, it was. He stopped it, it hit his stick and bounced in. He had made the stop and it hit his side of his stick and bounced in. That's what it looked like to me. He had made the save, but he made the save with his glove. And it ricocheted off his glove and it hit the stick and it went right in.
So we have a 3-3 hockey game with 9:10 left in the second period. Aurora dumps it down into their own zone. Kristoff back around the net. For Bryant. Bryant up to Grillo. It's knocked away by a Aurora player. Aurora clears it down into the Hibbing zone. Bovitz raced for it.
That's Catani's 17th goal of the year, an unassisted power play. No, it wasn't a power play. It just come out.
Zestel over to Grillo. Grillo tried to hit Catani. Couldn't quite get the pass to him. Catani back to Grillo. Brian Olsen knocked it away. Olsen skates around his own net, stops. Pass is almost intercepted. Sandvik picks it up, knocked away. Grillo passes over to Zestel. Zestel misses the pass. Grillo over to Catani. Catani picks it up, shoots, his shot is blocked. Aurora brings it out. Aurora player is knocked down by Gusted. Player on the net. Crusoe up to the point, not hard enough. Got a race for the puck. Oh, we're going to have a penalty.
Yeah, there it is.
We're going to have a tripping penalty to Mike Vidmar, number 5. He'll get 2 minutes for tripping. So Aurora's got a chance to get another goal.
Well, we'll see how their power play goes.
I don't think he really needed that penalty.
No, I don't know if that was a mistake or if he really actually was trying to keep him out of there. Oh, they're giving him interference. Well, Hibbing was good at penalty killing. Out of 68 penalties they've had to kill, they've killed 61 out of 68, so there's only been 7 goals scored against them. So that's 89% average, so they're awfully good at penalty killing.
Tom Hansen and Brent Bovitz pinned the puck against the board, so we'll have another face-off to the left of John Hajduk.
Hajduk is really getting tried tonight. He's the top goalie in the IRC with a 1.66 goals against. You know, and I think he's one of the top in the state, and so far 3 goals in on him. So Aurora's giving him all he can handle.
Iozo controls back to Brad Hansen. Clears to the blue line, but not out. He's shot in front. It's blocked by Tom Hansen, and he dumps it down. Aurora regroups in their own end.
There was a good block.
Good stick check there by Zins.
Mike Zins was awake on that one. Iozo would have been on there 1-0.
Kristoff tried to clear it back down into the Aurora zone and was deflected up into the crowd.
Yeah, Mike Zins wasn't watching that pass. Iozo could have broke all alone on Van Cleve.
Controls the draw, back to Tom Hansen. Hansen dumps it down into the Aurora zone. Aurora brings it out. Mismatch couldn't control the puck. Pat Iozo picks it up and dumps it out to center ice. Zins picks it up, loses the puck. Comes in. Nice defensive job there by Tom Hansen. Hansen back, loses it. Aurora controls, dumps it down into their own to the Hibbing zone, around the net for Kristoff. He's checked there, goes out to the point, but not in. Oh! Bovitz just couldn't quite get it in there, and by the time he had a shot, the Hibbing player was on it. Andrikin breaks in. Puck is knocked away from him. The Goes up against the boards there by Hibbing.
Boverts, I think, faked around too long. And Hajduk came out and cut the angle out on him.
He did do a good job on that play.
Yeah.
14 seconds left in the power play for Aurora. They're going to have to work fast if they're going to get something out of this. Draw is controlled by Aurora. Passes knocked away by Kasner.
A little mishandling there.
Aurora controls behind their own net. Kasner is doing a very effective job forechecking.
Oh, Hibbing. Other than that one pass, you wouldn't even know that Aurora was on a power play.
Big scramble for the puck at center ice. Olsen shoots it down into the Hibbing zone. Clouseau's knocked against the boards, picked up by Tom Hansen. Tom Hansen up for Kasner. Kasner breaks in going down the right side. Tries to pass it up to Hagen. Hagen back to the point. Hansen saved there by oh, and Hibbing scores!
Well, there was a big mess in front of the net, and Van Cleve, he was blocked out and screened and everything on that one. He didn't have a chance at that goal whatsoever.
He made the first save, and the defense just couldn't clear the puck away.
And there was about 3 Hibbing guys around the net there, so I think that was a deflection really too.
Hibbing scoring was number 8, Jeff Clouseau, getting the goal with an assist to number 2, Tom Hansen. Puck is held in by Aurora. Aurora shoots it back down into the corner, goes around the net. Christoph picks it off. Back to Hansen. Hansen's knocked off the puck. Aurora controls it. Tried to get it out in front of the net. Hansen picks it up, brings it out of his own zone. Iozo picks it up over to Morales. Morales pushed off into the board. Aurora picks it up. Swatted out of the air by Aurora player. Hansen shoots back down into the zone. Save there by Van Cleve. Marat will stand out in front of the net by himself.
Yeah.
There's a hand pass there. The goal wouldn't have counted even if it would have went in.
That last goal by Jeff Paggio, that was his 4th of the year.
Off will come outside the Aurora blue line. Draw is controlled by Aurora. Shot into the Aurora bench. We'll have a face-off outside the Aurora blue line again. Looks like Aurora kind of lost a little bit of their squad.
I think probably the intensity that they've been playing has been quite high, and you know.
All alone, Van Cleve makes a nice save.
Playing 3 lines against 4, it's going to get to you.
Grillo picks it up, breaks in and all alone, shoots. Oh, a nice club save by Van Cleve.
Remember how the game in Aurora went when Hibbing and Aurora had a good game for the first period and a half, almost 2 periods. In the third period, the roof caved in on them. Ended up to be a 9-3 game, so you know that has to be a nightmare for Aurora right now. They got to stay. If Hibbing scores anymore, I think they're going to have a real tough time at trying to catch up. So they're going to have to score and stay with him for the rest of this game if they're going to have any chances of winning.
Hibbing controls the draw. Gusted fans on the shot. Aurora picks it up, dumps it down into the Hibbing zone. Backhanded out of there. Olsen picks it up. Shoots it down in behind the Hibbing net. Gozic up to Esty knocks the player down. Hibbing controls in Aurora's corner. Esty picks it up and puck is knocked off his stick. Vidmar out in front. Shoots. Whoa. Gozic shot it high over the net. Aurora's bringing it back down. Mismatch. It's knocked off the puck. We have a little mix-up in front of the net.
Yeah, Zins and Gosted. But
I think Aurora's best chance would probably be go back to hitting Hibbing again.
yeah, no doubt about it.
They just haven't done that in this second period.
No, they're...
Aurora controls in the corner. Behind the net. Kristoff makes a nice play to keep the puck from being centered. Tom Hansen out to Iozo. Iozo up to Anderson. Anderson breaks it along. He's pulled down. We're going to have a penalty to Aurora.
Another penalty, Aurora.
Shot by Iozo. Oh, Iozo shoots over the top of the net.
Ryan Olsen, I think, for Aurora is going to get this one. Or is he? No, he isn't. Dean Krosky.
There's a minor penalty on number 4, Krosky, for holding.
Krosky gets a 2-minute penalty for holding, so Hibbing's got a chance to put this game out of reach.
Yeah, Hibbing is, they score on this. I would have to say that that's going to be a heck of a lead to bring come back to.
Aurora controls the draw. Player's knocked down. Sandvik breaks down all alone by himself. Shot on the net. Hajduk makes the save. Zesso picks it up over to Morel. Morel skates in. Knocked off the puck. Grillo back to Bryant. Bryant. Over to Kristoff. Kristoff in the corner. For Morel. Morel's knocked off the puck. The puck comes out in the slot. He's dumped down. Aurora dumps it down into the Hibbing zone. Bryant controls behind the net. Gives it off to Grillo. Grillo over to Zesso. Zesso was just a little bit too far for him. There's 1 minute left in the period. 1:05 left in the penalty. Grillo brings it up. Grillo down into the corner. Back to Catani. Catani skates out in front. Oh, and he scores!
Very good stick work by Antonio Catani.
A big lapse in the defense for Aurora.
Yeah,
there's no way he should have been able to walk out in front like that.
That one defenseman stood right there. He skated around him in the goalie. Coming in from the side like that, I don't know why the goalie didn't have that side of the cage blocked off. He came right in there and poked her between on the right side of the goalie.
Scoring for Hibbing, number 3, Katani from number 17, Grillo.
Scoring was number 3, Antonio Catani from number 7, Nick Andrican, or excuse me, number 17, Mike Grillo. Oh, shot there by Pat Iozzo, and Van Cleve made the glove save and dropped it.
That's a hat trick for Catani.
Save out in front by Van Cleve, makes another save. Van Cleve covers up for the save. He's getting a lot of work in the second period.
He's, I think probably they were looking for that. For Catani, that's his 18th goal. He's got a hat trick tonight.
Merle fights for the face-off. Aurora controls with only 9 seconds left in the period. Knocked away there by Nikolov. Nikolov skates up, shoots it into the Aurora zone. That's the end of the second period. At the end of the second period, the Hibbing Blue Jackets come back to take a 5-3 lead over the Aurora Hoyt Lakes Blackhawks. We'll be back in a moment. Well, after the second period, Hibbing's come back to take a 5-3 lead. Really not surprising, but Aurora hasn't really done their checking that they did in the first period.
I think that for this period, Hibbing is just taking control of the game. They're coming out strong, checking, good skating, good passing, and their defense is starting to just take over everything. And I think the manpower difference between Hibbing and Aurora, I think that's starting to show now.
You want to tell us what happened in that second period?
Well, Hibbing came out and scored 3 goals. It was 3-2 in favor of Aurora at the end of the second period, or first period. Now, Hibbing has scored 3 goals. The third goal came unassisted, and Antonio Catani skated in. That was the second goal of the night. The fourth goal came as number 8, Jeff Plagio, skated in. He was assisted by Tom Hansen. The fifth goal was scored as Catani. He again got in on a power play, assisted by Mike Grillo. And for Catani, that was his 18th goal of the year, and also that was a hat trick for him. There were 2 penalties in that period. 2 to Hoyt Lakes. Number 18, Dan Muggy, got a tripping penalty, and number 4, Dean Koski, got a holding penalty. Hibbing never had any penalties at all that period, and I think that's what helped them a lot, because when Hoyt Lakes got into that penalty situation, that's what proved the saves for the period. Van Cleve of Hoyt Lakes had 14 saves, and for Hajduk, he had 4. I'll be back in a moment with my guest. My guest for this period, between periods, is John Perpich, a former Hibbing High School athlete who now works for the Central College Scouting for the Pros. John, you attended Hibbing High School. What was your teams like when you played?
Well, I know we had some good teams in the late 60s and the early 70s. We went to the state tournament twice, and we had a series of real good years that I think produced some excellent hockey players. And I know the last few years Hibbing has again been producing some great players, as they have consistently, I guess. If you take a look at the rosters of college teams in the last 10 or 15 years, I think you tend to find some Hibbing players on many of the rosters throughout the WCHA and also in the ECAC.
The years that you went to Hibbing High School, I think there was about 7 or 8 different players that went to the college ranks from high school.
Right. There were several players during those years that went, and I know, as I said, after I left, there were people like the Politzes, like the Davy Johnsons, Billy Grillo, who's playing. There continues to be a number of great hockey players that have come out of Hibbing, and I guess in being an assistant coach at the University of Minnesota for 4 years, the one thing we found about recruiting people from the range in general was that not only did you get a great hockey player, but you also got an individual with a lot of heart who you could depend on to be a real winner for you.
You appeared 2 years, I think it was, in the state tournament. For these kids, if they make it, is it quite an experience being in high school? You know, you go to the state?
Oh, it certainly is. I think it's just a great experience, not only for the seniors who are going to get a tremendous amount of exposure, both to the colleges and the NHL people. It's a great experience just to be there, just to play in it. And it's also a great experience for the underclassmen who are going to be coming back the next year, and they're coming back knowing that they're winners, having that experience behind them, and they just become that much better the following year.
You also attended University of Minnesota, and one year you were NCAA champs. Between the state tournaments and being in the NCAA tournaments, being the champs, what kind of experience is that for you?
I guess it was a great experience. My senior year at Minnesota, we were coached at that time by Herb Brooks, and we won the first NCAA championship. I think we had like 4 or 5 players from the Iron Range, including, like Mike Polich, Cal Casalter, Buzzy Schneider, and myself. So that was a great experience. It was a great way to finish a college career. I know I went on from there and played a little bit of minor league hockey, and then went back after coaching at Aurora Hoyt Lakes for 2 years, went back to the University of Minnesota and was with Herb Brooks, one of his assistants, where we won another NCAA championship in '79.
Those years that you played in a college, was the drafting as heavy then as it is now?
No, that has changed considerably, and the biggest reason for it is that it's become, the underage draft as we know it, has become a 17-year-old draft, where before the WHA days it used to be a 20-year-old draft. So before we were, or the NHL people were looking at people who were freshmen and sophomores in college. Now they're looking at seniors in high school. So that has changed like 2 or 3 years, and basically what it's amounted to is more people scouting, more games being covered, and you see the scouts at various high school rinks as well as the college rinks.
Being a scout as you are, what do you look for in a player?
I think a number of things. One, looking for people as NHL prospects, they have to have some size at certain positions. For instance, defensemen, wingers. Usually you need a person who has some size. If they don't have the size, they've got to be extremely talented. They've got to have the great skills. And I guess we look for skating, we look for puck handling, we look for instincts in a player. And that combination of all those things, we just try to evaluate and project down the road if that player has a future in the National Hockey League.
You work for the Central Hockey Association as a whole, or do you work for one team?
Well, it's Nhl Central Scouting, and it's a lot like the Blesto football system, where it's a scouting pool that serves all the teams. All the teams, our information goes to all 21 teams, and we get reports out to them about 4 times a year, ratings. We give them 12 rounds of players, people that they may want to look at or are looking at, and we let them know what we think of them.
Is that similar to everything's on a computerized system like the National Football League is starting to get to?
It's much like it. Right now we aren't computerized, but we've got 8 full-time scouts. We've got another 12 part-time scouts who cover the U.S., Canada, and right now we've also got a division in Europe covering Sweden, Finland, and generally covering all the players, the European players. So we generally cover a lot of games. I see about 200 games a year. And it gets to be a lot of hockey, but I enjoy it. It's fun to see the best hockey players around.
Do you basically go after, like, do you follow college and high school, or is it basically high school?
Well, generally now it's 17-year-olds. We're talking about college, or excuse me, high school seniors. Also, some of the college, if a young man is a young college freshman. This year, the people eligible are all the people born in 1964, 1965, and 1966 up to September 15th. So if a person is a real young freshman, he can be eligible for the draft this year. And the other thing is that if a player doesn't get drafted his first year, he has 3 years to go through. So if a person is a late developer, he could be drafted his second year or his third year.
Don't you think it's tough on a lot of these players who are in college now, say like at UMD, where I think just about every kid in the team has been drafted one way or the other. And it's quite a factor for them whether to stay in school or not, or whether to go play for these teams.
Well, I think the one thing that you'll find is about 90 to 95% of all the National Hockey League teams don't want to take players out of college. They're drafting a player, they want him to develop in college for 4 years. If a young man is like well, let's take a Phil Housley, who was able to step right into the National Hockey League right now, then there's a possibility that a team would sign him. Otherwise, the teams don't want to take players out of the colleges. They'd like them to finish their 4 years, and when they're ready to step into the National Hockey League, then they want to sign them at that point.
That, I think it's changed a lot now. They're going more for finishing the education, because I think before they just wanted to take them.
Well, I think that has changed, and part of it is the financial situation. If a young man goes to college for 4 years, it's not costing that NHL club any money at all to develop him. On the other hand, if he's drafted out of a junior team, they have to sign him in a year, and it costs the team X number of dollars just to sign the young man, and it's going to cost them maybe 2 years or 3 years salary to develop a hockey player, where going to college, it doesn't cost them anything to develop him.
Do you find that a lot of the high school players that never were known, all of a sudden they start blossoming out into college, and they start to shine over there?
I would say that that's true. Generally, you're looking at people trying to project them down the road and see how good a hockey player is going to be. But you tend to find some of those late developers that become great college players and NHL prospects.
Are you here looking at certain players?
Well, I'm looking at all the players, I guess, especially the people born in 1966. Many of them are too young, the grade 10, 11, and the grade 9ers. But I remember the people for next year that are the underclassmen playing well.
Well, John, I want to thank you for being on the program, and we'll be right back.